Now, the message from me to all of you is, please do not have a crab mentality.
Yeah.
Thanks for watching.
That's interesting. So this is a good final video to end on, because this is kind of like, you know, you have friends you grow up with, and then one of your friends gets successful, and then the other friends, all of a sudden, they're not friends with them anymore. Oh, I hate that person. They become like jealous, right? Like, they become this mentality that, oh, because they succeeded in life, you know, more so than you, that now it's almost like they're your enemy, right? On camera, and he became filthy rich, acting like a okay? Wow, you're so fucking respectable, and you're such a guy that should be looked up to, because you acted like a fucking pussy, because you're a skinny little Swedish, basically a little wimp, acting like a dumb fuck on camera, and you ruined YouTube for everyone, right? And look at all the shit he's done. He had ad revenue leaving YouTube because of shit that he's done. He's fucked it up for everybody, but that's okay, because he lives in his fucking mansion, you know? So why would he give a fuck that he has any responsibility to anyone on YouTube, right? Like, now you're in opposition to them because they were doing better, or in a position to do better, right? I don't know why a line from a freaking 50 Cent song just popped into my head. Didn't he say a line in that song where he's like, I thought you'd be happy that I blew up, or something like that? Right? Doesn't he have that line where basically, I guess the lyric is that he thought that all his friends would be happy for him that he made it? I thought that you'd be happy I made it. That's the line. I thought that you'd be happy I made it. But then in reality, that's not what happened, is that all his friends from back where he came from turned against him and hate him because he blew up and became successful. They don't like him anymore, right? Right? And I mean, did that happen to me? Here's the funny part. I don't know. Very well, that could have been. You know, you take a look at my past and some of the people who I used to be friendly with, and then they basically turned on me and hated me after I moved. And then they say, oh, well, Phil did this, Phil did that, Phil did this, Phil did that, Phil did this, Phil did that. And that's fine, except they never told me the stuff that I was doing wrong. So how do you ever improve when you didn't know about it? Maybe that's part of it. Maybe they thought, oh, here's a guy who was along with us. He was a Street Fighter player. And, you know, he decided to become a YouTuber, and he blows up on YouTube, and now he changes, he's successful, he's moving across the country, away from us.
Yes, you're so good, dude.
And maybe that was part of it. Maybe not. You know, you'll never know. You'll never be able to go inside the actual mind of someone and know what's going on. But the guy makes an interesting point. If you know someone who ends up becoming successful, why would you want to bring them down or feel bad? You know what I'm saying? Like, feel bad towards them. And the bottom line is this. At one point, an edited style series like Project 7 probably would have been very popular on YouTube. That was like 6 to 7 years ago, all right? Before, you had all these guys coming in, right? Oh, we're just the average Joe. But they have all this fucking financial backing, and they're film students, so they have all this know-how on how to make films and shit. And they come in with this giant equipment, and they film these fucking amateur movies that become their YouTube videos, and they play it off like they're just the Joe average, and they just did this in like a day. They're so full of shit. Most of the stuff that you're seeing on YouTube has tremendous amount of time, money, effort, and investment put into it. I don't have any of that. I'm a single guy who plays games and shares his experience with you on YouTube. That's all I've ever been, and that's all I ever really aspired to be. Yeah, it would have been nice if things that I tried to branch out into over the years worked out. They didn't. And that's just a simple fact. And you could live in the past, right? I really wish that Phil would go back to this, or Phil would have still been doing it. That's it. You can't go backwards in time. You can only go forward, right? Again, I think that lyric actually resonates with me. I thought that you'd be happy I made it. You know, someone who you were friendly with, or maybe even a family member. And then all of a sudden, just because someone has a modicum of success that maybe you don't have, now they're your enemy. Now you turn on them. Now you hate them. You know what I'm saying? That's kind of messed up, right? I think, anyway. But, you know, to some extent, it's the other way, too. Because maybe those people look at you like they think that you're someone who stepped on them to get to where you are, and that's why they have that resentment, right? You stepped on me to get to the level of success you're at, and now you're just going to leave me behind, right? People became so fucking jealous and just angry that here's a YouTuber who doesn't conform to all the norms of what a YouTuber should be doing to be popular on YouTube, and he's outspoken, and he doesn't put up with bullshit from anyone. You know, I had those conversations with someone like John Bravo. I had that conversation with him before I moved. And for him, his mentality was, no, just do what's best for you. All right. But, you know, things happened as they happened, right? So, who knows? I mean, well, I don't think we'll ever really know the truth. We've heard his side, you've heard my side. Usually the truth lies somewhere in the middle, right? But that's pretty crazy, right? I mean, I'll be honest, just like any other normal human, yes, am I jealous of certain people and people who are successful and whatever? Of course I am. Of course I'm going to have jealousy. That's a natural human emotion for those who have more than you. You're always going to have that natural kind of jealousy of those who maybe have, been more successful or things like that.